Hello again, everybody. Michael Holland with the final video posting for our class, Business 330 Principles of Marketing. This is the last time you'll hear from me on video anyway, and I've really enjoyed the class. Really look forward to seeing all of your final papers coming up. The biggest thing we've got left in terms of point total coming up is the final paper. There's a couple other assignments to do as well. Certainly looking forward to those, but the final paper is the one that's got the most point value, 30 points. Everybody's done pretty well in the class so far, and I look forward to some really good papers as well. Now, a couple pieces of advice for the paper coming up. Proofread, and then proofread again, and then proofread again. I can't stress enough how much that's the real key to scoring really well on your paper. After you do the first draft, let it cool down a little bit. That means let some time pass. Writers call it a cooling off or cooling down period. Let some time pass so that the concepts that you had in mind as you're writing your paper, they're not quite so fresh in your mind when you go back and read the paper again. That way, you'll be much more likely to spot anything that's not quite clear, any ideas that aren't fully developed enough, or any flow that doesn't hold together real well in the paper. Grammatical errors are a big thing too. Most of you have pretty good writing skills, but look for grammatical errors in the proofreading. If you start out in present tense, don't switch to past tense or the other way around in the middle of a sentence. If it's plural, then don't go to singular. Look for those sort of grammatical errors. You've all found the spell checker button weeks ago, so certainly don't forget that before you turn in the final papers. As far as the topic of the final paper, don't sweat that too much. Pick something that you know about, something that you're comfortable with, something that lends itself well to the concepts that we've talked about in the class. I won't be grading the papers based on how compelling or interesting the topic is. I'll be grading it based on writing skills and how well you've been able to integrate the kind of things that the course has covered for the last 5 weeks. Integrate those things into the paper to make some relevant points on the topic of your choice. Now, don't let the topics jump all around. Don't pick a different topic for every concept. One central main theme ought to hold together nice and coherently for the paper. And lastly, don't try to include every single topic, every single concept that we've covered in the class. You know, you're not graded on how many get covered. You're graded on how well the paper holds together. So don't feel pressure to try to jam it all in. Just pick ones that you find the most compelling, the most relevant to the topic that you've considered, and that's your best bet to have a good paper that scores the maximum possible points. It's not about do you cover every single concept the textbook had. That's obviously it's not possible. There's too many, and I'm not going to be grading based on how many concepts you cover. I'll be grading based on writing skills. Did you proofread it? Did you fix any errors? Does it flow together well? Do you talk about the concepts as they relate to your topic that you've chosen? That's it as far as advice for the paper. I want to sum up by saying I've enjoyed getting to know many of you online. Many of you have shared things like special talents or special skills. Enjoyed hearing about that. Many of you were quite impressive on being givers of all sorts of things, foster care providers, and lots of other really impressive things. I wish I had a chance to get to know everybody in a classroom environment, and I wish everybody the best, and look forward to reading your final papers. And of course, as you're writing them, don't hesitate to contact me. I'll try to get back to you as fast as possible if you have any questions on the paper or any of the last two assignments this last week. Thanks everybody, and hope you've enjoyed the class.